Today we are going to discuss the different illustrations of chapter number 8. Okay, three equal masses of m kg each are fixed at the vertices of the equilateral triangle ABC. What is the force acting on mass 2m? Mass 2m is placed, okay, at the centroid G of the triangle. What is the force if the mass at the vertex A is doubled? Okay, now see here this figure. First of all, try to understand. Okay, there are three different masses of same value are kept at the vertices. Okay, these are the three vertices, and 2m mass is kept at the centroid G. Okay, triangle is named as ABC. Now 2m mass experiences the attractive force by different masses which are kept at the vertices. So the forces, first attractive force is in this direction, force due to B is in this direction, and force due to C is in this direction. Now we take the Cartesian coordinate system having its origin at G. So this becomes your x-axis and this becomes the y-axis. So these are the axes which are shown here, and this angle will become 30 degree according to the geometrical rules. Okay. Now the force on G by A. This is attractive force, and this attractive force is in this particular direction, that is in positive y direction. So you can write G m1 m2. m1 m2 is 2m upon square of distance. Say this distance is 1 meter, which is given to us. Okay, right now I am writing as 1 square G m1 m2 upon r square, and the direction of force is in positive y direction. So we write J hat. Okay, so first force, that is force on G by A, is in this direction. Okay, so that is written here in the first step, force on G by A. Okay, that is shown here. Now force on G by B, again try to see it properly. Force on G by B, this force is in this direction, and these are the axes. Here the angle is 30 degree. Okay, so the force will have two components. One is in this direction, the other one is in this direction. That force will have one component that is in x direction. That force will have x component, that is cos 30, and the y component will be sin 30. Now these components are in third quadrant, so both the components will be negative. Okay, so we can write first of all force. The value of force is G m1 m2 upon r square. Now force in x direction, so that is in negative x direction, so the component will be minus cos 30 I cap. Okay, and the next component, that is y component, is in negative y direction, so it becomes minus sin 30 j cap. Okay, so this will be the force on G by B, force on G by B. Okay, and that is shown here, force on G by B. Okay, that is G m1 m2 upon L square. It is written as such, 1 square minus cos 30 I cap minus sin 30 j cap. Similarly, force on G by C, you can see force on G by C is in which direction? It is in this direction. So if you consider the Cartesian coordinate system, then this is in the fourth quadrant, so its x component will be positive and its y component will be negative. So similar expression is written for force on G by C, okay, and that is cos 30 I cap, that is positive, minus sin 30 j cap, it is negative. Now resultant force is the vector sum of all these forces, and if you take the summation, and here L is taken to be 1 because the distance of G from vertices is 1 meter, okay. So this part, that is G m into 2m, okay, will be how much? It will be 2 G m square upon 1 square, so it becomes 2 gm square, 2 gm square, and that is common in all the three terms, so it is taken as common. Then first equation, it has j cap, then minus cos 30 I cap plus cos 30 j cap. Then you can see, okay, cos functions, or rather the functions which are having x components are taken together, okay. So I cap are taken together and j cap are also taken together, and if you just simplify this, then you will get j cap minus j cap. It's very easy for you to simplify, okay. So it becomes 0, so resultant force becomes 0. Now if mass of A is doubled, okay, then wherever there is a vertices, or rather vertex A, okay, there will be 2m. So first equation which we are having here, instead of m, this will be 2m, that's all. So this becomes 4 gm square upon 1 square, or L square. L is equal to 1 you can take, and you just have to simplify. 4 gm square j cap, it will be first term, and the other two terms will result in minus 2 gm square into 2 sin 30 j cap. And if you simplify this, because sin 30 is 1 by 2, so this 2 will be cancelled out with the value of sin 30, so it becomes 4 gm square j cap minus 2 gm square j cap, and resultant will be positive 2 gm square j cap, okay. Now example number 8.3, we want to find the potential energy of the system of 4 particles placed at the vertices of the square of side L. Also obtain the potential at the center of the square. Now potential energy, first of all, general formula you must know, and that is U is equal to minus G m1 m2 upon distance between these two particles. In general it is written as Uij, okay. I is the first particle, J is the second particle. So minus G mi mj upon Rij, where Rij is the distance between these two particles, okay. Now here the square is taken and the particles are here at 1, 2, 3, 4 vertices, okay. Now the pair of particles where the distance is L, then such pairs are 4 such pairs are there where the distance is L. So 1, 2, 3 and 4 pairs are there where the distance is L, okay. And there are 2 pairs where the distance is under root 2L. What is under root 2L? These two particles you consider, okay. Then this is L and this is L, okay. These two distances are L. So the hypotenuse, or rather we can say this distance, will be under root 2L. Similarly, this distance will also be under root 2L, that of another hypotenuse, okay. So there are two particles or there are two pairs where distance is under root 2L. So we have to calculate accordingly. Okay, 4 such pairs are there where the distance is L. Okay, so it is written in this way. Okay, you can see. Okay, distance between the first and second, first and third, first and fourth, second, third, second, fourth, and third, fourth. First and second is having distance L. 1 and 4 is L, 2 and 3 is L, 3 and 4 is L. And the distance between the particles which are at the corners, opposite corners rather we can say, that distance is under root 2L. Okay. So these are the two particles which are at the end of hypotenuse, you can say. Okay. So the formula will be minus Gm1 m2. So every time the masses are same, so m1 and m2 are m only, so it becomes minus Gm1 m2, m into m, so it becomes m square, and the rest of the changes are in the distance, so this formula will be like this. Okay, so 4 times these are the equations, or these are the terms which are 4 times. Okay, and the square is having the side of length L. Okay, so we can write this as L. Okay, so 4 times it is 1 upon L, 1 upon L. How many times it is? 4 times. So it is written as 4 upon L, and this becomes 2 times. This is the term which is repeating twice, so it becomes plus 2 upon under root 2L. And if you simplify this, then this root 2 and 2 will have cancellation, and here it will be root 2. So it becomes under root 2. Here L is taken as common. Okay, so it becomes minus Gm square upon L into bracket 4 plus under root 2. Okay, so this is very easy to understand. Okay, so it becomes 4 plus under root 2, and if you just place the value of under root 2 as 1.41, okay, then it becomes 4 plus 1.41, so it becomes 5.41 into this value, that is minus Gm square upon L. So that answer is obtained. Okay, now potential at the center of the square. Now try to understand the distance of the center from each vertex. Okay, the center is at what distance? This distance of these 2 points which are at the corner, okay, that distance is under root 2L. Then this center is at half of this under root 2L. So under root 2L divided by 2, so it becomes L upon under root 2. Okay, that will be the distance of center from each vertex. Okay, now you can write potential minus Gm upon the distance, that is L by root 2, that we have calculated. Here first of all it is written as R by 2, and then it is taken to be L by root 2. Whichever way you can write directly also, minus Gm upon L by root 2. So root 2 is coming in the numerator, so it becomes minus root 2 Gm upon L. And there are 4 such particles. Okay, so multiply this with 4 or by 4, then you will get minus 4 root 2 Gm upon L. Okay, so this will be the potential at the center of the square. Okay, now 2 uniform solid spheres. This is example number 8.4, which are having equal radii r but mass m and 4m, have a center to center separation is 6 times r, which is given in the figure. The two spheres are held fixed. A projectile of mass m is projected from the surface of the sphere of mass m. Okay, from here the projectile is projected, okay, towards the center of the second sphere. Obtain the expression for the minimum speed v of the projectile so that it reaches the surface of the second sphere. Now here you can see that the radius, okay, radius is, we can say, r, capital R. Okay, here the distance of these two spheres from center to center is 6 times r. Okay, the gravitational force of the sphere of mass m and 4m will act on the projectile, try to understand, whose mass is small m. Suppose the resultant force at point n, this is a neutral point, here the resultant force becomes 0, and this neutral point is at distance, say r, from the first sphere. So the distance of this neutral point from second sphere will be 6r minus r. So try to understand, at this point the resultant force, that is attractive force by first and attractive force by second, will be equal to 0. Okay, so we can use this to find the distance small r. Okay, you can easily do it because it's a Newton's law of gravitation only we have to use. G m1 m2 upon r square. So G, first sphere, m1 is m, the projectile G m1 m2 upon r square is equal to G m1, m1 is second sphere, 6 times m, okay, m2 upon, okay, upon the distance, that is 6r minus r the whole square. Now you can cancel G, m and m. G, capital M and small m can be cancelled out. Okay, so you can have this particular step. Okay, here the mass of the second sphere, try to understand, mass of the second sphere is 4m. So instead of this 6m we have to write 4m. Okay, you just have to cancel 6 and you have to write 4m. Okay, because the second sphere is having mass 4m. Okay, it is given by mistake. I just had an illusion that it is 6m. Okay, so the mass of second sphere is 4m. So you just have to write these equations and you will get. Okay, now you can easily simplify this. 6r minus r whole square will go in the numerator on left hand side. So it becomes 6r minus r the whole square is equal to 4 times the r square. Okay, so that is written here. Okay, now just go through it, just take the square root. Okay, we just take the square root, then 6r minus r is equal to 2r you will get, and 6r minus r is equal to minus 2r, because there are two possibilities, plus or minus 2r. Now by using the first possibility you find the value of small r, and that is found to be 2r, and by using the second possibility, okay, you will have the value that is equal to minus 6r, and which is not possible, not acceptable. So this is the distance, that is 2r, where the force becomes 0. Now see, kinetic energy of the body of mass m on the surface of the first sphere is 1/2 mv square, where velocity of the body of mass m is v. And what is the potential energy now? Potential energy, if you want to find, then that potential energy is the potential energy of the system of m and small m and 4m and small m. So it becomes minus g m m, that is capital M into small m upon the distance, that is r, when the small m sphere or small m object is on the first sphere. And the second will be minus 4 gmm upon 6r minus r. Okay, the total distance is 6r. Okay, so the potential energy when the object is lying here, try to understand, when the object is here, what is the distance of the object? Say for example it is here, then this distance will be 6r minus this, that is r, that is 5r. So initially the distance of this small m is 5 times r from this second sphere, and initially the distance of this small m from the first sphere, try to understand, we have to consider it from the center, so this distance will be r, and accordingly the potential energies are written and simplified. Okay, you can easily simplify it. Okay, minus gmm upon r minus 4 gmm upon 5r. Okay, you simplify it and you will get minus, rather initially you will have this value. Okay, and that value will be minus 9 gmm upon 5r. Okay, you take 5r as LCM. Okay, and you will get this value negative. Okay, there must be negative sign here. Okay, this must be negative, minus 9 gmm upon 5r. So mechanical energy initially is total energy, that is kinetic plus potential. Kinetic is 1 half mv square, in potential we got minus 9 gmm upon 5r. Okay, so this you have to take minus because it comes also minus, it is a binding energy as such. Okay, there is a slight printing mistake. Okay, it is negative. Okay, now at a neutral point, velocity of a projectile body is 0 because resultant force is 0, hence mechanical energy at neutral point. Now at neutral point you consider, okay, it will be minus gmm upon small r, okay, and minus 4 gmm upon 6r minus r. Okay, because at neutral point, try to understand, this point is at what distance? Neutral point is at distance small r. So distance of the mass at neutral point from first sphere, that distance is r, and here this distance will be 6r minus r because total distance is 6r. Okay, so potential energy accordingly is taken and calculated at neutral point, and that is minus gmm upon r minus 4 gmm upon 6r minus r, and r we have already calculated 2r it is. So instead of this small r we write 2r, so this becomes 4r, and if you simplify this, then this will be resulted into this value, that is minus 3 gmm upon 2r. Okay, take the LCM, you can do it. Now from the law of conservation of mechanical energy, initial energy on the surface of the first sphere is equal to final energy on the point where there is a zero force, that is neutral point or a null point. So comparing these two energies which we have obtained, first energy is in the first equation. This is equal to the value which we have obtained here, and that is equal to this. Okay, so both are compared here. Just we have to compare. 1/2 mv square is made as a subject of formula. Okay, and this is taken on the other side. Okay, and you simplify by just taking LCM and make v square as a subject of the formula. Here this is 1/2 mv square. m can be cancelled out and v square can be made a subject of formula, then 2 phi z becomes, okay, so it becomes 3 by 5 gm upon r, and take the square root of it, then you will get v is equal to under root 3 gm upon 5r. Okay. Now we shall talk about the illustration number 8.5. Okay. The planet Mars has two moons, Phobos and Deimos. Phobos has period of 7 hours 39 minutes and an orbital radius of 9.4 into 10 raised to 3 kilometer. Calculate the mass of Mars. Assume that Earth and Mars move in the circular orbit around the Sun, with the Martian orbit being 1.52 times the orbital radius of the Earth. What is the length of Martian year in days? Okay. Now period of Phobos is 7 hours 9 minutes. So it is converted first of all in second. You can easily do it. 7 hours 9 minutes. Okay. It is easily calculated. Okay. Okay. 9 minutes. So 9 it is, not 39. 9 into 60. Okay. And these are 7 hours. So 1 hour is 3600 seconds. The total seconds will be 27540 seconds. Okay. Now orbital radius is given. It is 9.4 10 raised to 3 kilometer. Convert into meter by multiplying 10 raised to 3. So this becomes 10 to the power 6. Now period of satellite of Mars, period is given by the formula, okay, that we have derived on page number 194. Okay, it's very easy. The period is given by T as such. T is equal to, in general it is, that period is 2 pi. Okay, period is given by 2 pi. It is RE. For Earth it is RE plus H raised to 3 by 2 upon, it is under root GME for the satellite which is moving around the Earth at height h. Now if you take the distance of satellite from the center of any planet as say distance is r, then this RE plus H will be converted into r. So this is written as T is equal to 2 pi r raised to 3 by 2 upon under root GME. Now take the square of this, then you will get this T square is equal to 4 pi square r cube upon G into ME. Now if it is Earth, then we write ME. Here it is Mars, so we write MM. Mass is replaced by Martian mass, that is mass of Mars. Okay. Just we write MM as a subject of formula, mass of Mars is made as a subject of formula. All these values are known to us. Put them and find this answer easily. Mass of Mars is 6.475 10 to the power 23. Now from Kepler's third law, T square is proportional to R cube. Okay. Now Tm you take as periodic time of Mars and a Te you take as periodic time of Earth. Then Tm square is proportional to the distance of Mars from the Sun cube, and for Earth Te square is proportional to distance of Earth from the Sun and its cube. Take the ratio. Okay, so you will get this. Make Tm as subject of formula. Now it is very easy. Okay, and we have all the values of RMS and RES, that is the RMS, it is given to us that RMS, that is distance of Mars from Sun, is 1.52 times the distance of Earth from the Sun. So RMS upon RES can be 1.52, it is given. So just put that value here, 1.52 raised to 3 by 2. Take the, here the square root is already taken. Okay. So TE is 365 days, that is time period of Earth for one revolution around the Sun is 365 days. Okay, into 1.52 raised to 3 by 2 and simplify, then you will get the time period of Mars for moving around the Sun is 684 days. Okay, try to solve these examples 2-3 times in your notebook. Okay, thank you very much.